Hey everyone. I've been kind of putting off starting this video because I want to talk about some of the experiences I've had, and some of them are pretty full on. But I'm determined to share it because it's so amazing, and I know a lot of people probably, won't believe me, or maybe they just don't think, I don't know, it's possible, or I don't know. But so I've had some amazing experiences with other beings, dimensions, all part of this experience that I've been going through over the last year, since kind of this channeling and vision kind of stuff started. There's so much to it, and I guess this is why I never kind of know where to start. So I guess I'm just going to start and see where it goes, and I'll just have to keep putting stuff out there to share all my experiences and what I think about it. But so I had this one experience, well, 2 nights ago I had another experience. I've had lots, but it was like after I had that one, it just hasn't left me that I need to talk about it. And obviously I must be at that point where I'm ready, and they're kind of giving me a bit of a nudge in order to start sharing it and talking about it more openly. And like I did I wrote about it in my poem that I wrote yesterday, kind of alluded to the fact I kind of have been very pussyfooting around what I've been experiencing, not really wanting to be putting it all out there yet, like straight down the line, because, well, I guess it's probably that persecution imprint type thing of just scared that people will think you're crazy, and that has been part of this experience that I've gone through. Like, people really haven't believed me or anything, and it's okay. I guess it's all part of it, but I can't allow it to stop me from sharing my experience, because I think it's important. Because I guess there is a lot of people out there that are interested and kind of have similar experiences, and I understand that now. So I guess I'm at the stage where I'm ready to just put my experiences out there. And I guess all this time I've been trying to work out what it is in order to explain it properly, and I still don't exactly know. But if you just wait until you know for certain or sure, you'll be kind of forever waiting, until you're ready to start something. Sometimes you just got to jump in, and I think that's a big part of why I'm sharing what I'm sharing, is that it is just my journey, and I feel like it's important to share authentically what my experience is, and to say I'm still learning. And so I'm just going to explain. So this isn't the first time I've had this experience, but I'm going to talk about this one, I guess, to start, because it's fresh in my mind, and I kind of wrote about it yesterday. So it's so hard to explain, but anyway, here we go. So getting ready for bed, I was getting into bed, I'd like just put my phone on airplane mode, like literally getting into bed. Normal night. I looked at the time and it's 11:44, and I'm like, oh, thanks, Spirit. Love you too. And turn out the lights, and immediately, like, I can feel it and see it. So, my sight, like seeing the orbs and I can only describe it as, it's like the air becomes fluid and electric, like electric light fluid. So it is really interesting and hard to explain, and I am like kind of anxious actually explaining this, but I'm ready. So you hear about people talking about orbs and stuff. I never thought that I'd be seeing this stuff. I never like tried to see. Actually, that's not right, because backtrack here, because when I read the Celestine Prophecy years and years ago, and they talk about seeing the energy and practicing with seeing that. If you've read the book, you know what I'm talking about, but like auras, right? So I have tried to do that in the past, never been able to do it. This is a kind of a whole different ball game, what I'm seeing these days. So, and I never understood what people meant when they said they saw orbs and stuff. So anyway, getting into bed, and I see that the air has become alive, like fluid, and colours, not bright colours, but can definitely see there's red, normally there's a lot of red and white, and there's movement within the air. Like, I can see that there's something in this fluid air, electric kind of energy air, which, it's happened a lot to me. Some kind of, I'm still taken aback by it, but I have kind of interacted. I'm at the point where don't freak out too much, enough to kind of acknowledge and just watch and be amazed by it, and see what's going on. And so at the same time I'm seeing that, I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, so I kind of get this impression that, because at this point there's energy, it's not like how the channeling, like I don't hear the words in my head or anything like that. This communication that I get when this happens is, it's like a deeper, I just know. It is really, it's interesting. But I'm knowing that they're wanting me to go outside and look at the stars, and I'm trying to ask them, but they don't answer. They don't answer me. It's just like this thought of me knowing what they want. It's really interesting. But anyway, so yeah, at this point I see kind of energy movement within the air, and I also see figures being made out of this energy liquid type light within the air. So I see my a tall, thin Arcturian. I am knowing, not thinking. I'm knowing that tall, very tall and thin, and a guy kind of guiding me. Like sometimes I actually see like movement, because the outline is very misty, right? This energy light. You can't really, it's like you can almost see it. The outline is kind of there, it's really interesting, but then there's movement, like you can almost see an arm or hand going, like, you know, and you see him, like you can see movement, and it's kind of like a direction, and I'm like, okay, we're going outside. All right, I'll go outside for 5 minutes, okay, but it's bedtime, I need to sleep. So I'm kind of like, okay, it's important that I go outside. Because a lot of this stuff has happened under the stars. There's a big connection there. So I went outside, and on the starry night, it was beautiful, beautiful. I could see so many stars. Beautiful night, full of stars, and the air is kind of electric. Like, I know this is important. Like, I don't know. See, it doesn't happen all the time, this type of stuff, but when it does happen, you just know. You know that tonight's the night that something needs to happen. Energy upgrade, or just a reminder of home, or I don't exactly know, but what it is or why it's happening on particular times, or I don't really ever know when it's going to happen. I can't really ever make it happen. It's just sometimes it's just really strong. I don't know whether it's something astrologically or something that is needed when I need it, like energy wise, that I'm not really aware of, or something from their side of things. I don't know, but anyway. So this is what happens, and it's happened quite a few times now. So this is just an example of what kind of happens when it happens. So I go outside, and I can still feel them all around me, and I can see the kind of liquid energy light, literally, like the air just becomes full of, it becomes like plasma, like alive. It is weird, but absolutely mesmerizing, amazing to watch. It's like fluid air color just be dancing like all around you. Yeah, so I go outside, and I just in awe of the stars, and it's beautiful, like almost like a blissful feeling comes over me. It's very emotional. I feel the importance of it. Very, very interesting. So I go out, and I look at the stars, and I can see them guiding me to where they want me to be, and they do guide me, and sometimes maneuver me to look at different parts of the night sky. And it is a little bit like, so this maneuvering that I feel, it's happened several times. It is like I'm being moved by a magnet. So I don't feel anyone like literally like grabbing me or anything. It is more like I'm being affected by a magnet type energy, and it's like I want to be drawn. Like my energy is gone. It's just like whoop. It is a very interesting feeling and really fun, but also a little bit freaky. So yeah, it's happened a few times. There's been a couple of times where it was quite full on that I got a little bit freaked out by it, but they've kind of, you know, been conditioning me. The connection, the specialness of the moment kind of allows me to process the weirdness of that. But anyway, yeah, so I'm out there, I'm looking at the stars, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm looking here now, and then I'm looking here now, and then I kind of, I don't know, well, I kind of do know that it's obviously important that I'm connecting with certain parts of the sky or constellations or stars, or because this is what happens next, is that when I'm looking at a certain part or star or part of the sky, I can only describe it as mandalas of light, language, like it shoots down. Like I can see movement like way up in the sky, like, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoo, and it comes towards me. And then sometimes it's like hangs in front of me and I can see the patterns within the mandala, and they're different colors. Sometimes a lot of them are already, but I've seen all different colors of them, and they just come in and it's like they enter me. And sometimes it seems like they're more, so these things are like more like information packets or messages or something coming down. I don't know really exactly. I could only assume it's like some kind of download of information or something, or even, I don't know, and maybe for my energy, maybe it somehow affects my body or my energy. But sometimes when it happens, it comes down, and sometimes it just hangs there, and I can look up, like I'm really interested by it. So sometimes it just hangs there, and I'm trying to like look all around it to really see it and stuff. And sometimes you kind of go under it, and it's almost like not a tornado because it's not really spinning, but like a beam that I can look up, that kind of connects it, that's like connected still. And then other times it's like something comes down and I know that it's more of a being, orb of beingness, and they're kind of moving around, not in a form of a being, but I just kind of know it's something's energy, not just an information packet. So there's different things that happen, and I don't really know. Sometimes I'm like try to touch them, and it kind of backs off, and I'm like, okay, sorry, I didn't mean to like enter your beingness or anything there, but it's interesting. Like, so I'm trying to understand what it is and see it better and all that. I mean, it is amazing. It is so amazing. Like sometimes I can see it so well. Like this other night was like bubbles. Like the bubbles were like this big next to each other, of a red light kind of colour, and it's moving. How would you freaking describe it? You know those like jelly balls that kids have? Like they come dry and you add water and they kind of puff up little jelly balls, or like in the tea. So imagine those all kind of just energy light and, you know, packed together. God, like fish eggs, but not solid. They're little like energy balls of light type thing. So you can kind of see through it a bit, like the layers of it, and it moves around and comes and checks me out, or very, very amazing, mind-blowing experiences there. And I just get mesmerized. I'm not exactly, it is interesting because I'm not exactly sure what I'm meant to be doing other than just absorbing it or something. So yeah, I'm like sitting there and watching it all. I'm like, am I meant to be doing something, guys? Like, what's going on? And I don't get any like words in my head or anything. It's just like, I kind of just know that I'm meant to be experiencing it, and maybe one day I'll understand what happened, or not sure. Yeah, and so at some point it kind of settles down, or my mind, I guess the moment passes, or you know, I looked at the stars and I'm thinking, and I'm still kind of seeing some movement, but I guess the feeling in me knows when it's kind of done, and I'm like, okay, it's bedtime, love you all, good night. So then so I'm like, okay, I'm ready for bed. I'll go back inside. And so like this time I went back inside, and it was an hour later, and I swear I was only out there for max 15 minutes, max. So where did that hour go? I don't know. Time flies when you're having fun. I don't know. You know, other than seeing the energy and being a little bit mesmerized by it, I think I may have seen a couple of shooting stars. But yeah, so you know, the mind does wonder. Because I swear to God I wasn't out there for an hour. And this has happened before, but this time, and this is why I think I'm meant to talk about it this time I haven't forgotten about it, because in the past it's happened and I'm like, oh, something happened there, and it kind of like freaked me out. I would very quickly forget about it, or I just wouldn't be concerned about the time thing or anything. And I'm pretty certain that, you know, the manipulation sounds like a bad word, but we'll just go with that for now. The time management and memory management, I definitely feel has been a thing for me, but I also completely understand that it is for my own mental stability and processing ability to be experiencing this and yet still function in this world and not completely go like crazy or freak out or be scared of it. I absolutely know from when it first started happening is that yes, some big shit was going on, but I was being looked after, and the biggest thing with this is your mental capability and emotional capability of processing it and still being able to function and still be willing to go through and learn more and be in it more and be okay and just approach it in a good open-hearted way, like reducing fear. And so I pretty quickly at the start accepted the fact that like the biggest part of this is doing it, but they would be monitoring, like it's for my own good that they're managing my memories, and it's part of the training of acceptance and the part of the meet you movement of contact is making sure you're emotionally okay with it every step of the way. And I think quite a few of the messages that I've been receiving is that obviously people freak out with this stuff, and fear is never good. Like bad things happen when people get scared, and there's a lot talking about this at the moment. And so yeah, pretty much I've been being prepared to have these experiences without letting my fear take over my reactions, because obviously when we're talking about all this channeling connection, even being in contact with other dimensional beings or whatever, you got to keep your frequency high, and as soon as you get scared your frequency drops dramatically. So it's always got to be this balance, right? So, and I completely understand part of my experiences have been building my resiliency or my open-mindedness, my acceptance of these really far out there experiences that I never thought that I would ever experience in my life or were possible, like from far out stuff. So we're starting it's like this, right? Like, wow, this is full on, but like each time you get kind of exposed to it and everything's okay, you can kind of keep your acceptance level. You're managing that fear, that initial reaction of something that is just so different. Change, something, just a weird thing happening, as it continues to happen and you get okay with it each time, you can keep going with the experiences and going further each time. And I mean, I want to go further. We had this agreement that I did want to go, and part of the the training has been dealing with my emotional stability and understanding of it, and not freaking out or going fangirl or running down the street saying the sky is falling. But being in it in a way that I can talk about it with other people and share my experiences in a rational minded way, because it is obviously very important if our star brothers and sisters are up there. They are there and they're communicating with us. They have been for forever. But we're getting that down to the nitty-gritty now. And there's so many people out there that just refuse to believe, or they think it's very negative, about, you know, invasion, or you know, and we also know that there's so much, there's so much fear in society around this. It's the dramatization of it that causes people to keep holding on to this fear and shit. Like, I mean, basically we need to be understanding what it really means for us in our everyday lives, not like it's a Independence Day movie situation. Like, we need to start understanding, communicating the fact that it's a normal part and always has been there, and it will become a normal part of our understanding of ourselves and our world and our galaxy. And so, like, this is like, we're getting into this time now where we need to kind of settle down with that whole fear, dramatization, freaky shit, you know, all that really dramatic. We need to start actually talking about it in a way that this is a part of our everyday lives. People are having these experiences. It is always there. They've always been there. You know, these other dimensional beings that are here all the time. They've been here all the time, and so we just need to get like these messages out there that more of this stuff is going to be happening, and it's like sharing these experiences helps people understand that it's okay, and we all are part of this world, and we just need to open our minds to that. It is we still view it like what we don't understand with fear. So we've just got to start talking about it in a calm and open, authentic way of what we're all experiencing, I think. And I think we're getting there. Like, this is the time where we settle this, I can't think of the word, like the over-dramatization of us being, you know, abducted by aliens and all this stuff. Yeah, I don't know, but you know, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't exactly know what the whole situation is, but this is just the kind of the feeling that I've been getting and what's been happening to me. That more stuff like what I've been experiencing, more people are going to start going through that and seeing things and freak out. Because, like, when it started with me, I started seeing things flying around in the sky during the day, and I still see it. I look up into the sky and I can see things. And yeah, at first I started trying to tape it. I videoed it, and I'm like, they're fucking aliens up there, man. And I was freaking out, like, every time I went out there, and I was kind of got to the point of like obsession. But it was almost like this it's a process that I went through, because it's so full on. And I think this is what I'm getting at, is that people are going to start seeing stuff and they're going to freak out because they don't know what it is. I mean, I don't really know what it is, except for now that I've seen more kind of other dimensional things happening in my sight, I kind of think that dimensions merging, or because our frequencies are rising, we can see more stuff now. And this is going to happen more, and people are going to start freaking out. So I think we just need to start understanding that there is other stuff around us that we haven't seen in a while. I'm just kind of getting this feeling. I don't really know for sure, but I can only assume that a lot of the stuff what I see in the sky, and like the energy beings around me, it is because we're closer to their frequency now, so it's like coming in and out. I don't know, but that kind of, it's what it seems to be, what, you know, and at first, because I didn't understand any of it, I immediately thought there was, you know, a lot of little spaceships flying around in the sky, and I was trying to record it, and you know, I did record little things flying around in the sky, but you know, I don't want to feed the fear that is really rife at the moment about all that. You know, I've absolutely seen like one of these Tic Tacs very clearly. I've seen a lot of things in the sky, and I really wanted to prove to everyone. I wanted to prove to everyone that what I was seeing, but you know, it doesn't matter. Whatever will happen will happen. I know there's a lot going up there that we have no idea about. I absolutely know that for sure. But I didn't like the idea that I might have been contributing to fear, and I didn't want to put anyone in a state of fear. So I've been really careful about who I've said things to, or the way I've said it, because some people just aren't aware of a lot of things, and the only thing that they can assume, you know, jump to that conclusion is fear. And a lot of other people, you know, they hear that and they're like, oh, and then it disappears from their mind, like their being can't hold that information until they're ready to hold it, which is another big thing. And that goes back to part of like what I was experiencing with the training of like your brain will protect you, or your being will protect you from only seeing and dealing with what you can handle. Maybe that's part of it too, like you're protecting yourself. And this is why, you know, we conveniently forget things sometimes or something. I don't know. But anyway, is there anything else that I wanted to say? How long? Alright, so I'll add another quick one. Experience one of so the first big experience of me seeing these energy beings. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was like this one time, like I saw their outlines so clearly, and there was all these beings around me. My entire backyard was full of them. It was like they were my guides, or star family or something, but it's like I knew them all. They were there for me. Literally my entire backyard was full of beings, all different races, out of space races. So that's when I first really saw my the Arcturian guy that I've kind of spoken about, the tall, thin, with the eyes to mesmerize. But there were so many others. I saw giants, like big guys, massive, like as tall, like their heads were in my trees in the backyard. I saw a big lion, massive lion. I saw a big gorilla on my roof. So not just beings, there were animals there as well. I saw this little creature, and he had like an antenna in his head. It was really weird. Like, it wasn't part of his body. It was like mechanical, something that was in his head. Weird. And he was a little bit scared of me. So like, as I went up, and he was kind of scared of me, but I was like really interested, but I let him be. And I saw the small greys, clear as freaking day, standing right there in my backyard. I saw really big, not as big as the giants, but probably like 7 foot at least tall, like Egyptian guy, like God. He had without a doubt. What else? They're all different manner of different humanoid. You would think they were human, but slightly different. All these different human faces. I could almost see what they were wearing, like, all very different. Yeah, so that was a very similar experience, that one with where I was being guided to different parts to look at the night sky. Oh yeah, and it was like they were all clapping, like I'd just been initiated, and they were all there for like my graduation. They were all clapping. I had yeah. Anyway, it was really freaking special. Or I had more moments there where they were literally spinning me around, or the magnet was spinning me around. Really, really, I don't know what that was, but I initially thought it was like a team building exercise of me building trust with them, and I think that's part of it as well. What else? Yeah, just all these beings, and they were guiding me, and they were, clapping and then pointing to the stars. Look here, look there, and I was like, I was being welcomed into the galactic family or something. And yeah, it was really freaky to see all these aliens in my backyard, energetic forms of all these different beings, but I felt like one of them, like they were there for me, and always were, always are. Yeah, it really, really crazy, and I know it sounds really crazy, but this is what my life is now. But not all the time. It happens sometimes, and I'm like, hey guys, how you going? I wish I could hear what you were saying to me. Wish we could have a chat over a wine or a coffee. That's my goal, to be able to really actually freaking. I would so want to have a chat with them. I miss them so much. I just have that feeling. I miss them all so much, and it makes me cry every time like they come, and I feel that they're there, and I'm just like, fuck, I miss you so much. I don't even know what that is, but that's how I feel when I connect with them. Like, oh, I miss you guys, and I get so emotional. Because I feel the connection, but I don't understand the connection. But part of me remembers it, and that's why I'm not scared of it. I know it's me. I know I'm part of it, part of that community, and I think that's what I'm being encouraged to share is that we are all and always have been part of that community, and we don't need to be scared of it. It might be really weird, and we might not understand what's going on, but we will get there. I mean, it is a lot me talking about this, but in for a penny, in for a pound. If I'm going to be authentic, I'm going to be authentic, and this is my experience and part of the journey. Who knows what's going to happen next? Have no idea. But yeah, I tell you what, like, it is pretty amazing seeing this energy in you know, I guess it does change your whole idea of what this world is, and yeah, it does blow your mind, but you know, there's a lot more to this world than we've been brought up to realize, accept, and you know what I mean. Yeah. Is there anything else? That's long. Let's let's just leave it there for today. Finish with that connection, the love. They always bring a slice of home with them, and the connection and the love, their connection to it all. It's like a reminder. And that is the biggest thing to feel that changes your whole world, is when you connect to that level of love and acceptance. That connection that no one quite understands. That is so powerful. Yeah, it's home and love, and we're all connected to it. I can't deny that, and they bring it with them. Every time I connect, I feel it, and I feel part of it all. Literally, the connection goes through everything, the planet, Earth, stars, me, the animals, the relationship with these beings, energy. It is beautifully intense, sometimes really overwhelming and confusing, but undeniable when you feel it. You just know, even if you don't understand it, you know. And yeah, so that's what I kind of want to share with everyone. I may not know what is going on, but I feel I can't deny that connection and these experiences that I've had. So, you know, whether you try it for yourself of going down this road, or you've experienced similar things, been scared of it, afraid to go back, I don't know. I just wanted to share, and I'll keep sharing because yeah. I think it's fucking amazing. If I could only show someone what I see. It's so fucking cool. Get out there under the night sky and be amazed and look and absorb and ask for it. Open your mind. Look into the space between. Connect with that space. What is in the space? That's ticket. It's what's in between.